Hello, my dear students. In this class, let us discuss about a latest question that is being asked now according to the NCERT syllabus. Earlier, it was not being asked. Earlier, what was the question? Explain the different classifications of elasticity of price. Here, that is given up. A new question has come up. What is that question? Explain the elasticity of demand along a linear demand curve. That is the question. It carries 6 marks. Please understand. In the previous video, I have dealt with in detail the meaning of elasticity of demand and the types of elasticity of demand. I will sum up in this context. You know, elasticity of demand is nothing but a measure of responsiveness of demand for a commodity to the changes in its price. Please understand. So, ಬೆಲೆಯ ಬದಲಾವಣೆಗೆ ಒಂದು ವಸ್ತುವಿಗಾಗಿರುವ ಬೇಡಿಕೆಯು ಹೇಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿಕ್ರಿಯಿಸುತ್ತದೆ ಎಂಬುದನ್ನು ಅಳೆಯುವುದನ್ನೇ ನಾವು elasticity of demand, price elasticity of demand. Again, I will repeat it. It is a measure of responsiveness of the demand for a good to the changes in its price. The law of demand tells that there is inverse relationship between price and demand. Higher the price, lower will be the demand, and vice versa. But it doesn't tell in what quantity changes take place, and that is explained by a concept called elasticity of demand. And we know that there are 5 kinds of price elasticity. Perfectly elastic, perfectly inelastic, relatively elastic, relatively inelastic, and unitary elasticity of demand. Again, I will repeat it. Perfectly elastic, perfectly inelastic, relatively elastic, relatively inelastic, and unitary elasticity of demand. You have learned these shapes of the demand curves in these different types of elasticity of demand. You know, there is one, so in this perfectly elasticity of demand, the demand curve is horizontal to the OX axis. This is OX axis and this is the demand curve. So this shows that it is perfectly elastic. It does mean whatever may be the changes in price, there may be no change or there may be a slight change. It leads to infinite changes in demand. So that's why PED is infinite. PED is infinite. Let's go to that later. PED is infinite in case of perfectly elasticity of demand. ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಡಿಕೆಯ ರೇಖೆಯು ಸಮಾನಾಂತರವಾಗಿರುತ್ತದೆ. OX ರೇಖೆಗೆ ಸಮಾನಾಂತರವಾಗಿರುತ್ತದೆ, ಅಡ್ಡಲಾಗಿರುತ್ತದೆ. So demand goes on changing. That is PED is equal to infinite. Now coming to the other one. Here this is the demand curve and this is OX and this is OY. And whatever may be the changes in price, this is price. The demand remains same. There will be no changes. So it is called perfectly inelasticity of demand. There may be changes in price, but the demand does not change. It remains constant. And in this case, we say PED is equal to 0. Got it? Okay, now let's go to third one. This is demand curve. demand curve is flattened, somewhat flattened. Say this is at this price, this is the quantity, and 5% change leads to 10% change in quantity demanded. That means a small change in price will lead to a larger change in demand. This is called perfectly elasticity of demand. Relatively elastic. Relatively. 5% change in price leads to a 10% change in. So we say here PED is greater than 1. That is, PED is greater than 1. Coming to fourth one. So in this case, this is the demand curve. Demand curve is a steeper. Say in this case, a larger percentage of change will bring about a smaller percentage of change in demand. ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ 10% ಶೇಕಡ 10% ಅಷ್ಟು ಬೆಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆದರೆ 5% ಅಷ್ಟು ಮಾತ್ರ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಇದೇನು ಹೇಳ್ತದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಬೆಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿನ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದ ಬದಲಾವಣೆಯು ಬೇಡಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿನ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದ ಬೇಡಿಕೆ ಕಾಣ್ತದೆ. ಇದನ್ನು ನಾವು ರಿಲೇಟಿವ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಎಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ರಿಲೇಟಿವ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಎಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಸಮವಾಗಿರೋದನ್ನ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಸೇ ಯೂನಿಟರಿ. So 10% change in price leads to 10% change in demand. Please see, please understand these 5 diagrams. Here this is PED. PED is lesser than 1. Here PED is equal to 1. Please understand, PED is infinite, PED is 0, and then PED is greater than 1, PED is lesser than 1, PED is equal to 1. That has been already explained in the previous video. Please go to that video and see, you will get it. That is very, very important to answer this. Without that base, you can't understand, and even you can't explain it. And even while answering this, you should mention these things. The 5 types of elasticity of demand. Okay, now let's go to understand the meaning of linear demand curve. What is linear demand curve? Linear demand curve is a straight line. It is a straight line which indicates that the demand curve slopes downwards. This is the demand curve. Mn is the demand curve. It is a linear demand curve. It slopes downwards and it is a straight line. It is not convex as we see in case of indifference curve. Indifference curve ನಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡೋ ಹಾಗೆ ನಾವು ಡಿಮಾಂಡ್ ಕರ್ವ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕಾನ್ವೆಕ್ಸ್ ತರ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ನೇರವಾಗಿರ್ತದೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಳಿಮುಖವಾಗಿರ್ತದೆ. So that is called linear demand curve. The equation of the linear demand curve is given here as Q is equal to A minus BP. So why minus is used here? Because of inverse relationship, because of negative relationship between price and demand. As the price rises, demand falls and vice versa. So that for that we use the equation Q is the quantity demanded, A and minus BP. Right? So if you convert it, here it becomes B minus BP divided by A minus BP. Just write this equation, you do not worry about that. And this is very, very important to know the different points of different elasticity of demand. Right? Here you see price elasticity of demand, ED elasticity of demand is equal to lower segment and upper segment. Lower segment and upper segment. That means here lower segment divided by upper segment. If you divide the lower segment, you will get by upper segment, you will know the different types of elasticity of demand. Here see, this is the P. P is a point which divides the line into two segments. So OP is the point here, and this point P divides this line. Which line? MN line. That is the linear demand curve, and that is divided into two. What is that? PN, and this is PM. Please see. PM, and this is PM, and this is PN. You to get elasticity of demand, what you have to do, you have to divide the lower segment by upper segment. Lower segment is PM. Yes, you are right like that. PM, and upper segment is PM. PN, and PM. Okay. PM is the upper segment, and PN is the lower segment. Now let's understand the different points indicate different types of elasticity of demand. Please understand the different points, that is M, A, P, B, N. M, A, P, B, N. These points denote the different types of elasticity of demand. You apply this formula and you will understand. Now, and this is PD. PD is equal to infinite. That means perfectly elastic. Perfectly elastic. That means though there is no change in price, there will be infinite change in quantity demanded. This is called PD is equal to infinite. Now you just see NM divided by 0. Say for example, you give the value to the whole linear curve, that is demand curve, as 20. Just you divide this 20 into 4 parts. Here you see this is 5, 10, then 15, 20. We are giving the number just to make us it very easily, to understand it very easily. So we have given the number 20. So 20 divided by 0. That is lower segment divided by upper segment, right? Lower segment is NM divided by 0. Here it is 0, say. And we will get the answer infinite. That is perfectly elastic. Coming to the second one. Here AN divided by AM. Right? AN it is 15. AM is 5. So it becomes 3. It becomes 3. That is PD is greater than 1. Please understand, I have given, just see the full value of this line is 20 and it is divided into 4 divisions. Here it is 5, this is 5, this is 5, totally 20. Please understand, AN divided by AM. So 15 divided by 5 is equal to 3. That is PD is greater than 1. Coming to this one. So PD is equal to PN lower segment. Yes, lower segment PN and PM. So what's the value? 10 by 10 is equal to 1. So here PED is equal to 1. This is called unitary elasticity of demand, equal elasticity of demand. If there is 10% change in price, there will be 10% change in demand. Okay, coming to the fourth one, PED is equal to, fourth one, BN, please see, BN divided by BM. What is BN? BN is 5 and BM is 15. So it comes 0.33. That means it is lesser than 1. Here it is greater than 1. That means a change in price will lead to a smaller change in demand. If there is 10% change in price, there will be only 5% change in demand. And this is called relatively inelastic. Okay, and coming to the last one, PED. That is 0. Here it is 0. Upper segment is 0, and then NM. Say 0 divided by 20 is equal to 0. There will be no changes. Whatever may be the changes in price, there will not be change in demand. So we have understood these things. That means very simple thing. Elasticity of demand, different types of elasticity of demand can be understood by looking at the different points on the linear demand curve. ಲೀನಿಯರ್ ಡಿಮಾಂಡ್ ಕರ್ವ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲವು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಈ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಸ್ಥಾಪಕತ್ವ, ಎಲಾಸ್ಟಿಸಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಡಿಮಾಂಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಬೇಡಿಕೆಯ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಸ್ಥಾಪಕತ್ವ, ಅದರದ ವಿಧಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಭಾಳ ಸುಲಭವಾಗಿ ಪತ್ತೆ ಹಚ್ಕೋಬೋದು, ಕಂಡುಹಿಡ್ಕೋಬೋದು, ವಿವರಿಸ್ಕೋಬೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಅಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.